Hello guys, welcome to the channel, Talking with Jay Springer. I'm your host Jay, giving you a video on the channel today. Hello guys, welcome to the YouTube series Journey to Spider-Man Far From Home, the YouTube series where we're reviewing all the Spider-Man movies leading up to that new release Spider-Man Far From Home, and then ranking them all from the worst to the best. That also includes the new Spider-Verse movie and Venom, so stay tuned guys, you're not going to want to miss it. The movie we're reviewing today in this YouTube series is The Amazing Spider-Man. I'm going to give my personal opinions on it. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and ratings down below in that comment section, of course. Without further ado guys, let's jump straight into it. The Amazing Spider-Man, this came out in 2012, directed by Mark Webb, and this is a 2 hours and 33 minutes movie and an action-adventure sci-fi movie. The story of this is after Peter Parker is bitten by a genetically altered spider, he gains newfound spider-like powers and ventures out to solve a mystery of his parents' mysterious death. Straight into the good points. Now the good points about this movie is technically this movie looks so unique and so different to Sam Raimi's trilogy. Now a lot of people saying this movie tried to copy The Dark Knight and some of the things in the Sam Raimi trilogy. I don't think they did that. I think they tried to keep it so unique and different, especially if you look at the scene with Uncle Ben in this movie. He has to change his whole script about the great power and great responsibility and all that because they don't want to copy the originals. They really want to make it their own, and I really see that in this movie. As well as the movie's a lot darker than the other movies as well, and this is where people start comparing it to Batman: The Dark Knight. I don't think so. I think this movie really tries to match the emotions and the characters in this movie, which are going through a dark time, especially Peter Parker. He's going through a dark time. He's still upset about his parents being killed. He's still obviously upset of what happens on further on in the movie, and they shot that dark, I think, to set a mood and a tone for the movie, which I think they've done a great job with. The movie's camera work as well is shot great throughout. I really enjoyed it, and we really got some nice point of view shots, really, especially where Spider-Man lands onto that building. You can see the reflection of him. I really liked that, and I think they may have got inspiration with that scene because obviously in Spider-Man 3 where he lands on there and you can see his reflection in the glass as well as him in the black suit, I think they sort of took a little bit of inspiration there with reflection maybe, but I really did love the point of view shots they used in this as well as the camera work. You got some really good smooth camera work when it's the angles or the camera movement. I really did enjoy it. The CGI in this movie as well, for the most part, was absolutely top notch. I really enjoyed it as well. I think CGI was a big improvement, obviously years after the Spider-Man 3, and that was one of the things I did criticise with that movie. And also seeing some parts of Peter's young childhood with his parents, obviously before everything happened. In the beginning, the intro of the movie, we got to see a little glimpse of Peter's past, which I thought was quite good. We didn't get to see a lot, which was quite gutting, but we still got to see a little part of it, which was quite good. The fight scenes in general between Spider-Man and Lizard, I really did enjoy it, as well as all the stuff going on with Spider-Man in his costume, whether it was that funny scene, the humour was great as well, I'm not going to add, but whether it was that scene where he's got the guy who's trying to steal the car, I thought that scene was great. His humour come across really well. I did enjoy that. But then we go on to the performances, of course, which really drives this movie through to what it really is. So going on to Peter Parker, played by Andrew Garfield. I think Andrew Garfield done a great performance when it comes to Peter Parker. I just feel like the character didn't get the max potential it could have throughout the movie, but I still think Peter Parker was showed quite well. As I said, I think he's more relatable, understandable. He's basically a teenager in grievance and just struggling to balance everything that's going on around him, which is quite relatable to me. If he was going through a situation like that, the way he handles things. Now, there was one major thing that really annoyed me with his character, and that was the fact of he had a drive to find out Uncle Ben's killer and to find out his parents' killer, and suddenly his motives kept changing so quickly. And I feel like that's a lot due to the time limit of the movie and what they tried to fit into this movie and some of the direction. But I really still understood it because it just shows that at a teenage age, you're going through a stage where you're becoming Spider-Man. You're just sort of uncontrolled, and all your emotions are all over the place. So I found that quite relatable and understanding after I thought about it. But also going into the Spider-Man character, I felt Spider-Man really felt and looked more younger which was great. We really need to see a lot more of a younger side of Spider-Man, and as well as the humour, as I've mentioned. And I really like the fact that they used organic web shooters. It wasn't all genetics. I really like that fact they experimented that side as well with Spider-Man, because it made the movie quite different to the original. Again, it didn't try to copy the original, which people are accusing it of. Then we go on to Gwen Stacy, played by Emma Stone. I think she done a great job in this movie. Her character had quite a little part to play in the movie, obviously being Peter's lover, the main thing, but apart from that, she really didn't have a lot of character depth in the movie. But for what they give her in writing, I feel like she done a great job. I found her quite funny, as well as their relationship, Peter and Gwen. I've really found the relationship believable. I think a lot of that is due to them dating in real life at the time. I think obviously you can feel the chemistry between them. Now, Uncle Ben, comparing his character to Cliff Robertson from the first movie, I don't think it's better. I didn't feel the chemistry between Peter and obviously Uncle Ben, because Uncle Ben really weren't in the movie a lot, if I'm being honest, in this movie. I felt the more relationship in the first movie. I still believe he gave a heartfelt performance and come across quite natural, and I still enjoyed his performance as a whole when he was on the screen. I still think they still had some chemistry, which is great. It didn't let me down really with that side of things. And then we go on to Aunt May. Now, a lot of people didn't like Aunt May in this because she didn't have their motivational speeches like the other Aunt May did in the other movies. But really, I like the fact they went down a different route. Now, if you're an aunt or a mother or a sort of motherly type figure, you're worried. You're constantly worried about your family, especially if you're seeing your family's falling apart. Uncle Ben's been killed. You're all over the place yourself emotionally. But also seeing Peter go off, coming back with bruises and constantly rowing with you, and things are going on. He's not even there half of the time. Your main plot is to worry about your family, and I think her character again was down to earth, relatable and understandable, and a lot of people didn't like that, but I see what they tried to do with his character, and I still enjoyed that. Gwen's father as well as the last character I want to talk about. I feel like he was a great addition to the movie, and the main thing for his character was his relationship with Gwen. I loved his going against with Peter at the dinner. I think that was a really good scene, which really got to see some competition there for Peter. It sort of reminded me of Harry's father in the first movie, Spider-Man 1, going against Peter at dinner. I really enjoyed that scene. It sort of reminded me a little bit of that, which was quite cool. Going on to the bad points. Now, the bad points about this movie is it all really comes into one thing, really, and it's character depth and direction, which is the major flaw, especially when it comes to the villain. Dr. Connors, or the Lizard, was completely wasted in this movie, and it was quite confusing, really. Now, you can argue both ways, whether he's wasted or confusing, and me, it was more confusing in this movie than anything. I still feel he had a purpose of the movie, obviously, but the main thing for me is, why did he want to turn everybody else lizards? And when he did turn everybody else lizards, what was happening in that certain amount of time when Spider-Man was fighting the lizard? That's what I want to know. That would have been a great movie to see. But me personally, that was the question really around that character, which I didn't understand. And I get that he wants a new arm, so he's trying to find a way of genetics and science and stuff like that, which was understandable. But we really don't get no background story. We don't understand him in a human aspect, really. I feel like maybe they should introduce some family aspects or something with more character depth. I think this character could have been explained and given more in this movie. I feel like they really tried to prioritise Peter, and it really left the villain in the lurch, really, in this movie. Another thing is Spider-Man's costume. I did not like Spider-Man's costume in this. Even though they added all the CGI, all the effects and everything, it looked great in the movie, but the costume I just did not like. I still prefer the original. Also, another point is I found it completely silly how Peter Parker, or Spider-Man, found all the clues in the sewers. It was sort of like Connors just left it there, the Lizard left it there for him to find, and all the way through how they found out things, how Peter had to go to Dr. Connors to find out things. It just felt really poorly executed in that manner, really. And Gwen suddenly knows how to make this antidote to cure everybody. It was a coincidence. The last bad point is some things really that Peter does in the movie gives away his powers, and people just don't notice. Like, if you see a guy sitting there kissing a girl, like Gwen Stacy, catches a ball with his reflexes and throws the ball, it's like an American football, throws the ball, it hits the bar and completely bends it and moves it with that much force, or completely smashes a basketball hoop. whilst he's jumping in the air. Come on, as well as smashing a door at your aunt and uncle's house just by slamming it, it just sort of gives it away a bit, really. No one really has that much power. So guys, it's rating time. Let's have a look at the critics had to rate this movie. We have IMDb giving it a 7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes giving it a 72%. And Metacritic giving it a 66. My rating for this movie is a 7 out of 10. That makes this a good
That's
movie.
pretty good.
Overall, guys, I think this movie isn't perfect, but I still think it's a good movie. I see its flaws, and if it sorted them flaws, it'd definitely be up there in that totally awesome bracket. I still think it could be up there with one of the best Spider-Man movies if it did sort them flaws out as well. I feel like this was a more realistic, darker drama type movie, which made it unique, and I think a lot of people disliked it because it was less colourful. Spider-Man's supposed to be all colourful and sort of up there and all happy, like Superman in a way, sort of like that in the Marvel universe. But really they tried to go down sort of Batman type path where he loses his parents and his Uncle Ben, and he's struggling as a teenager, which made him more relatable, understandable. But still, this is a great watch. I still feel that this movie is a great watch for sure. You still get some enjoyment out of it and entertainment for sure. So guys, a 7 out of 10 good movie rating for The Amazing Spider-Man 1. Don't forget to leave your ratings and thoughts down below in that comment section. Of course, I would love to get into a conversation on that matter, as well as don't forget, if you're new here and you enjoyed this video, smash the thumbs up, lets me know you enjoy the content I'm giving you, and also shares my video around for everybody else to enjoy and give me their opinions. As well as if you're new here, consider subscribing and hitting that bell for much more. You ain't gonna want to miss the stuff coming up on the channel, as well as the stuff already on the channel. We've got a bunch of great stuff on the channel when it comes to movies and TV series. We review, we rank, and we also react to trailers on this channel, so you ain't gonna want to miss the stuff already on the channel. And the stuff coming up, we have got the Amazing Spider-Man 2 review coming up. We've also got Venom, the new Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which I haven't seen yet, which I've got a review for you guys. Obviously the new Spider-Man Far From Home, which is going to be a great movie, of course. Stay tuned, subscribe, hit the bell, you ain't going to want to miss a thing. So without further ado guys, I've been me, you've been you, and I'll see you next time on Talking with Jay Springett.